Hello, my friend. Will you join me on my journey? Let me tell you my story.
It's raining tacos from out.
All I remember is that I had the flu. I was lying on my bed exhausted. I felt very dizzy before I closed my eyes. As soon as I opened them, I found myself here in this strange place. I was terrified of this ominous place. The floor, the walls, even the air itself seemed heavier and denser. But my real shock wasn't in the place, it was in myself. I looked down at my hands. My skin had turned a strange green color. I couldn't believe my eyes. I didn't know how I got here or what had happened to me. I stood with difficulty, trying to understand what was going on around me. But suddenly I felt looks following me from every direction. I turned slowly, my eyes taking in every detail of this sinister place. There was nothing but pumpkins filling the place. Huge pumpkin heads were scattered in every corner, with eyes carved out as if to mock me. They glowed with an eerie light, as if watching my every move. I felt a shiver run through my entire body. Those eyes weren't just decoration. They were looking at me, watching me. I moved with cautious steps, trying to avoid staring at those twisted faces. I felt like every step took deep in the place's sense of suspicion. Suddenly, I saw a door at the end of the corridor. I couldn't believe it. Maybe it was the exit. I quickly headed towards it, as if I found that I would finally get rid of those terrifying looks. It wasn't an escape. It was just another trap. I entered a room full of mirrors and orange lights. I swallowed and felt hot and nervous. But the worst thing was when I raised my head to see my full appearance. I hadn't expected to see my face like this. I saw my reflection in every mirror, each one showing me my face with my green skin and my eyes full of fear. Despite the colored lights distracting me, it was clear. Distorted writings began to appear on the surface of the mirrors, and after careful examination, I realized that what was written on them was my name in red. I didn't know if this was a clear message or just a trick, but I had no choice. I walked out of the room, avoiding the terrifying gazes of the pumpkins that were becoming increasingly aggressive. The closer I got to one of them, the more its eyes lit up, and sometimes I felt some of them move slightly, as if they were about to attack. As I searched the winding, damp corridors that were beginning to cool, I found an old map hanging on the crumbling wall, pointing to a place at the top of a large tower. It seemed as if my survival depended on this place, so I decided I had to try. I didn't know what might be hidden there, but it might be my only hope of returning. I continued on my way, avoiding the dirty walls that were starting to grow mold. I also heard the sounds of small things moving and caught glimpses of their shadows in the dark corners, what seemed to be mice. My heart jumped every time I heard them, but there was no turning back. Finally, I reached the spiral stairs of the tower. I quickly climbed them while the walls echoed my breathing. I reached the tower. It was huge and imposing, and at its base there was a row of pumpkins wrapped around it, staring at me with terrifying looks that increased my suffocation. I took a deep breath and entered. There was no point in going back after all this. I advanced calmly and steadily after catching my breath. Every step weighed heavily on my feet, but I did not give up. My eyes were looking at one thing, at the hope that my eyes captured, and as I passed the pumpkin that looked like it would move and pounce on me, I saw the magic carpet. It was lying there, as if waiting for me, surrounded by some smaller pumpkins, but they looked more normal. I walked cautiously, first touching it, then sitting on it, and whispering, "Please, take me back where I belong." I felt a slight movement that threw me off balance and the carpet started to move. I felt the breeze caressing my face as I rose into the air, away from that terrifying place. I saw the pumpkins looking at me with what I thought were looks full of hatred and anger, but I was gradually moving away from them. The sky started to blossom with its bright colors, and the pumpkins became nothing but distant orange dots. Then, as if some kind of transition had happened, I felt nothing but my soft mattress, and I moved slowly until I slowly raised my body to become aware of my surroundings. And indeed, I found myself in my warm room, covered with my blanket, not sure if what I had experienced was real or just a dream. I quickly took my hands out of the blanket and examined them, sighing in relief after making sure that I wasn't green. I felt my forehead and felt the drops of sweat on it. I forced myself to get out of bed and go to the mirror to check myself, and thank God everything was fine. Maybe it was a nightmare because of the effect of the disease on me. How stupid I was to doubt even 1% that it was real. A live pumpkin with sparkling eyes is pure nonsense. Magic carpet, how funny. What about Aladdin's lamp too? I have to reward my brain with a cup of coffee and a delicious breakfast for these creative ideas it weaves while I sleep. I went down to the kitchen to make myself breakfast. I noticed some problems with the fridge and microwave. I don't know why, but I certainly wasn't going to let that ruin my mood. I kept humming while setting the table happily. For some reason I felt like everything that was weighing down my shoulders had disappeared. Everything was light as if I was walking on clouds. My full breakfast would be better with the windows open, so I started to pull the curtains off it, and as soon as I did, I opened my mouth in shock. The sky was orange as if the sun had swallowed our planet, and the clouds were cumulus. I couldn't believe my eyes, so I opened the window and stuck my head out to notice a strange silence that had covered the city, as if it had become deserted, although I wasn't sure of that. I really didn't know why, as the TV wasn't working and there was no signal to browse on my phone. I went back to remember my dream and tried to connect what it all meant. Why would I dream something like this? Is it possible, or am I still dreaming? I slowly went back to sit on the chair watching my food and wondering why I was so happy in this way and feeling light with all this happening around me. My mind kept thinking, what will happen to us? What will we face, and is there even a chance of survival? I turned my back to the window and went back to humming again and shaking my head gently before starting my breakfast, because I don't think there is anything else I can do. Just being quiet and watch what happens and live and face the moment.
It's raining tacos from out of the sky. Tacos, no need to ask why. Just open your mouth and close your eyes. It's raining tacos.
It's raining tacos. Out in the street. Tacos. All you can eat. Lettuce and shells. Cheese and meat. It's raining tacos. Yum, 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 yummity yum. It's like a dream. Yum, 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 yummity yum. Bring your sour cream.
Cheese, 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 cheese.
It's raining tacos. Raining tacos. Raining tacos.